Hello, dear friends. Today is November 27th, 2024. There are not many changes on the map, but as always, there is plenty of news requiring confirmation. Let's discuss everything in order. Before we begin, I would like to kindly ask you to subscribe to the channel. Your subscription helps the channel grow. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Let's start with the Kursk direction. In this area of combat operations, the armed forces of the Russian Federation have achieved minor successes. Today, Russian troops managed to secure positions on the western outskirts of Pogrebki. The assault on this settlement is complicated by the fact that the Ukrainian armed forces are constantly deploying reinforcements here and using FPV drones extensively against Russian equipment attempting to advance. However, Russian forces have now occupied the farms on the western edge of the settlement. We will soon see how the situation develops here. Moving slightly south on the map, the Russian armed forces have fully taken Novoivanovka. All attempts by the Ukrainian armed forces to reclaim the settlement have failed. The Ukrainian defensive lines are now located along the settlement of Leonidovo. Moving further south on the map, we have geolocated material confirming the presence of Russian troops in this area. This material allows us to confirm that the entire territory from Tolstoy Lug to Zeleny Shliak is under the control of Russian forces. Regarding Darino, Russian troops have established control over this settlement. Ukrainian forces have made multiple attempts to retake it, but all attacks have been unsuccessful. Reports are also coming in from another settlement, Martinovka, where Russian forces have approached from the east and south, coming close to the settlement. However, no changes are visible on the map. Next, we move to the settlement of Plekovo. Here, Russian forces have cleared the entire area. Now we are waiting for confirmatory geolocated material from the western outskirts. Otherwise, these are the updates from the Kursk direction. Let's move on to the Kupiansk direction. Conflicting reports are emerging from Kupiansk regarding the previously reported presence of Russian forces. Ukrainian sources claim that the Russian armed forces have been completely pushed out, while the Russian side has made no official comment on this area of operations. For now, this part of the map remains marked in yellow, awaiting geolocation confirmation. Moving south on the map to the settlement of Krugliakovka, there are reports that Russian forces are assaulting the settlement of Zagrizovo, but so far without geolocated confirmation. Additional changes are reported in the settlement of Zeleny Gai. Yesterday, the Russian armed forces began an assault on Zeleny Gai from the settlement of Vishnevo. The vector of movement appears directed toward Borovaya, from which the forced evacuation of civilians was announced earlier this month. However, the Ukrainian armed forces have numerous fortified positions in this area, marked in yellow on the map. Other than this, there are no significant changes on this front. Next, we move to the settlement of Chasov Yar. Earlier reports indicated that assault groups of the Russian armed forces managed to enter the refractory plant, which has been turned by the Ukrainians into a powerful fortified area and currently serves as the main stronghold of Chasov Yar's defense. Losing this plant would essentially end Ukrainian efforts to retain control over the city. Consequently, they will defend it to the end. Recent updates indicate that Russian assault groups have begun flanking the plant from the southwest through high-rise buildings, where fierce fighting is ongoing. The Ukrainian command has deployed foreign mercenaries to Chasov Yar to reinforce positions at the refractory plant, declaring its retention a strategic priority. The Ukrainian armed forces will not hesitate to allocate reserves for this purpose. Once the first geolocated materials from this area become available, corresponding updates will be made to the map. Moving further on the map to Toretsk, the city is currently shrouded in the fog of war. Determining the positions of either Ukrainian or Russian forces will only be possible with geolocated confirmations. Currently, intense battles are taking place in this sector of the front, leaving little opportunity for troops to capture and upload geolocated materials. Reports indicate that over the past 10 days, during rotation operations, the Ukrainian armed forces have lost more than 500 personnel without a trace. Additionally, there is information that the entire eastern part of the Zabalki neighborhood is under the control of the Russian armed forces, while the central part of Toretsk is effectively in a gray zone. As soon as changes occur, I will report everything. Moving on to the Pokrovsky direction, the Russian armed forces have taken full control of the settlements of Pustinka and Petrovka. While geolocated materials confirm the presence of Russian troops in Petrovka, the news of Pustinka's capture has yet to be substantiated. Currently, attacks are underway on the settlements of Zholtaya and Pushkino. According to some sources, Zholtaya is now in the grey zone. Moving further on the map to the Kurakov direction, there are reports that the settlement of Berestki has come under full control of the Russian armed forces. At the moment, efforts are focused on eliminating the pocket between Voznesenka and Berestki. Once this pocket is cleared, Russian troops are expected to advance toward the settlement of Starye Terny. In Kurakov, the remaining Ukrainian troops are in a critical situation. Yesterday, geolocated materials from the Russian side showed Russian forces in the central part of the settlement, particularly in the area of high-rise buildings. There are also reports of battles near the fire station located in the northern part of Kurakov. To the south of Kurakov, Russian troops have crossed the supply route and are advancing toward Dakhnoye. Geolocated materials from this area confirm the presence of Russian forces. Moving slightly further south on the map, reports indicate that Russian troops are attacking the settlement of Vasily Gai. If these attacks are ongoing, it is likely that the entire forested area in this region is under Russian control. These are the updates from this area for today. Continuing further on the map, information from the field suggests that the Russian armed forces have taken full control of the settlement of Razdolnoye. As soon as confirmations are available, changes will be reflected on the map. From Razdolnoye, Russian forces could advance in two possible directions. The first, and more likely, is toward the settlement of Novi Komar, which is situated along a supply route to Velikaya Novoselka. The second option is toward the settlement of Bagatir, which is accessible via a direct road without fortified positions. However, without established positions, it will be difficult for Russian forces to secure their advance, leaving them vulnerable in open terrain. Additionally, reports suggest that Russian troops have not yet fortified positions on the outskirts of Velikaya Novoselka, but have approached the settlement closely. They are likely waiting for complete disruption of supply routes before launching an assault. To the west, Russian forces are also attacking toward the supply routes leading to Velikaya Novoselka. These are the updates for this sector of the front today. Finally, moving to Zaporizhzhia, in the Orakov direction, the Russian armed forces are advancing toward the settlement of Malaya Tokmachka from the south. At the same time, assaults continue on Belogoria, along with attacks on the settlement of Novoandreyevka, though there are no significant changes on the map. That's all for today regarding the situation on the map of hostilities. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching and see you next time.